I.S.U.P.K.
Read. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish.
Judah, which is where the word Jew comes from, right, which is a tribe of Israelites, the so-called African American or the so-called Negro, right, is Judah. Judah is in mourning. Now, if you look at America and you look around, you will see that Judah is certainly in mourning.
That's right.
You know, that's why we have so much drug addiction and so much pain and anguish in the community, because we're mourning. We're mourning because everything that we had has been taken away from us. You understand? Our identity, our language, our culture, and mostly due to our own actions. Read.
They are black unto the ground.
They, Judah, are black. Now remember, the word Jew comes from Judah. It says here that they are black. Read it again.
They are black unto the ground.
They are black unto the ground. Which, you know what that means. The ground is various shades of brown. That's what it means. That the Jews are various shades of brown, or they are black people.
Damn right.
That's what it's talking about here.
That's right.
So all these other people that's running around here that think this so-called Jewish man is the true Jew of the Bible are incorrect.
That's right.
And have been misled
Right.
in the earth. You understand? And there have been great consequences from this. Okay, so now let me have it. Now, we're going to talk about Christ. Christ, who also is a Jew from the tribe of Judah, and we can verify that in the book of Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 14. Give me that. In the book of Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 14, it gives you the lineage or a portion of the lineage of Christ, what tribe he comes from or what nation he comes from. You understand? So that we know what we're talking about and that we can identify who's who in the Bible according to the Bible. You understand? Read.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
It is evident that our Lord, who is our Lord? Who is our Lord and your Lord too? It's Christ. It's talking about Christ here. Our Lord is Christ, and he is from the tribe of Judah. Judah is a tribe of brown or dark-skinned people or black people. This is what is being proved right here, right now. He's from the tribe of Judah. He is black. And for further authentication, let me have Revelation 1 and 13.
Say that tonight.
Calm, I don't want to calm. Okay, this is the book of Revelation. This is the revelation of Jesus Christ. The revealing, to reveal. Revelation is to reveal. So this is the revelation of Jesus Christ. Read.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
So here's a man in the midst of 7 candlesticks, which represents the 7 schools or the 7 churches that were established with the Apostle Paul. Here is a man standing there with a long garment on, and he has a belt or a girdle around his waist. This is the revelation of Jesus Christ. So here we have a man, he has a long garment down to his foot, and he has a belt, of what we call a war belt, what you might call it a girdle, around his waist. Read.
SHOW&quot, verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
His head and his hair was white like wool. What that means is the hair on his head and his face. That's what it means. The hair on his head and his face were white like wool. White in color, woolly in texture.
That's right.
Understand texture. You understand? Read.
Right. SHOW&quot, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
His eyes was red. His eyes was red because he drank wine and he was under a lot of stress.
Right.
You understand? He was under the whole government was on his shoulder, as the scriptures say. Okay, read on.
SHOW&quot, verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass.
His feet were like unto fine brass. Okay, so let's get brass in our minds here. You got brass in your house, you got brass button or candlesticks or doorknob, or you got some brass in your house somewhere, and you know what color it is. But check this out. Read.
As if they burnt in a furnace.
As if they burnt. Now this is the description of Christ's feet. So you know that if your feet is a certain color, the rest of your body is the same color.
Right.
You understand? So this is the color of Christ's feet, the color of Christ. Like brass, read it again.
SHOW&quot, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burnt in a furnace.
As if they burnt in a furnace. Now, anybody out there who's listening and who can hear this, you know that if you take metal, brass, gold, whatever color it is, and you burn it in the furnace, it's going to come out a particular color.
That's right.
You understand? Yes. And that color is black or shiny brown.
That's right.
A very dark color. So Christ was a very dark man.
That's right.
He was a black man from the tribe of Judah. You understand? Would be called a so-called Negro or African American. That's the tribe of Judah today. And we're going to prove today that the Israelites are, in fact, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Let me have Daniel 10 and 5. Now, Christ is a black man. I just showed you that. Christ is a black man. You understand? Because you people, you oppressors, have taught the earth a whole different matter about who Christ is. You understand? You portrayed Christ as a white man. Right. And that is a lie. Right. You covered the faces of the judges thereof. Right. You call Christ, or you portray Christ as being a white man, the angels being a white man, God being a white man, and all of it is contrary to the Bible. Right. You understand? The Bible describes the Most High, he describes Christ, he describes his people, because he knew that you would make color an issue, because you think that you're white. You oppressors call yourselves white, but there's nothing white about you. There's nothing pure about you. You understand? You're the Edomites of this world, of the earth. That's who you are. And Christ was not an Edomite or a white person. You understand? Christ is a black man. Read.
SHOW&quot, the book of Daniel chapter 10 verse 5. Then I lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold a certain man, clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with the fine gold of Uphaz.
Now here again is another image in the book of Daniel of a man, or of a being, a person who has on a garment. He has on clothing. So it's a person with a body. That person has a body, he has a head, he has feet, arms, legs, all that. Okay, we understand. Read on.
Come, verse 6. His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
Now here we go again. You understand? He had on a beryl is a greenish color. You understand? So he has on a green garment. Just like in, which one is it? This one? Just like in this picture right here.
That's right.
A green garment down to his feet.
Right.
You understand? This is a different image in a different book.
Right.
Okay, so listen carefully if you care to know. Read.
Come. And the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude.
And the voice of his word like the voice of let's go back to the previous verse, the second part, and the color of his voice. So this is the description. This is the description of Christ once again. You understand? Read on.
Come, the book of Daniel chapter 10 verse 6. His body was also like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning, of fire.
When it says his face was as the appearance of lightning, that just means that he was fierce looking.
That's right.
He was awesome to look upon, as if you saw a bolt of lightning land near you. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that his face was like actual lightning. So let's get that straight. Read on.
Come. And his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
Polished brass. Because the brightness that was round about him, it appeared as polished brass. You understand? That's a color derived from a brownish hue, a brownish color.
We want no